Hi, I'm Wendy. Welcome to my West Coast garden. This is the first in a series of short videos that I'm going to do, and today I'm going to explain how to successfully grow tomatoes in the climate where I garden, which is on the temperate Canadian West Coast, in Vancouver on the Pacific Northwest of North America. First, choose healthy seedlings. If you don't start the seedlings yourself, buy them at a local plant sale or at a local nursery. Try and avoid buying them at a big box store. Plants at the big box store are planted and shipped for a very narrow sales window and are often stressed if you're not buying them within that window. As well, once they get to the big box store, they're often taken care of by people who don't really know how to take care of plants, so they're not watered evenly or consistently. If you do buy at the big box store, just make sure what you're getting is not a stressed plant. The plant should not have any roots poking out of the bottom. The soil should be moist and it shouldn't be flowering. So you might be tempted to buy plants that are big and flowering, thinking that they will produce more quickly when you put them in the ground. That is actually not usually true. Smaller, non-stressed plants will catch up to the bigger plants almost every time. Second, make sure you've prepared your soil with organic matter and that it has good soil porosity or drainage. Tomatoes need a strong root system, and the organic matter and good drainage help the roots to find their pathway to the other nutrients in the soil that they need. Strong root systems are necessary to support the stalks that are going to grow and hold the bounty of tomatoes that are going to be produced by the plant. If you check out my channel, I have another video that explains in detail some tips on fixing West Coast soil if you need more information. Third, bury as much of the stem as you can. With this plant that I showed you before, I would pinch off all but the top leaves and bury the rest of the stem in the soil. Again, I have another video that shows in detail how to do this. Plants are vines and they will root from the stem, and that will just help them, again, to develop healthy root systems, and the plant on the top will recover really quickly and you won't notice the difference in a few days. Fourth, prune the bottom leaves and mulch the plant to minimize the viruses or blights that can splash up from the soil and infect your plant. This year I'm using coco coir, which is an agricultural byproduct that is quite sustainable. You can also use grass clippings or hardwood chips if they're available in your area. Just make sure that whatever you mulch with is porous enough that water can pass through. Fifth, control exposure to water. Tomatoes like even, consistent water, especially once the fruits have set. July rains wreak havoc on the plants, causing the fruit to split and making them more susceptible to viruses later in the season, which can be transmitted through their wet leaves. For those areas of the garden where plants can't be protected from the July rains, grow early maturing determinate varieties or cherry tomatoes. Finally, find the warmest, sunniest spot that you can. We don't get very many hot days here on the West Coast, and tomatoes really are a tropical plant that do really well when there's some heat. So help them out by picking a sunny wall that radiates heat or a sheltered corner where it's a little bit more balmy than other places. Either that, or you can create microclimates like I've done, which if you check out my other videos, you can see more about. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great tomato crop this year.